He's who come out with a bang. Coach Minzy. Best round here. Remember that.
All right, people. Welcome back to the coach's desk. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's another edition. Yeah, man, extended version of the weekend's triple treat. So, I must apologize for not being able to culminate the weekend's triple treat. However, I went to a function and I thought that, I would have finished the function to be back on set, but it didn't materialize. Hence the reason we are here. Brian, big up yourself. Brian Jane to the super chat. Big up yourself, Brian Jane. Coach secretly doing things his way. What say you people? All right, big up on yourself, big up on yourself. So people, like the video, share the content, subscribe to the channel if you're new so that you can become a part of the Coach's Desk family. Big up Tuffy Rudy. Big up to all the people who are on. Jason, big up yourself, Yeah, man. Big up yourself. John Paul in the building. All of the people are rolling. Big up yourself, big up yourself. Yeah, man, we're here another time, another treat. Yeah, yes, Tuffy Rudy, that's how go on, man. And we have a special guest, Me soon drop the link. Not the link. Me I get too excited. Me soon drop the link. The stream for the track and field thing tomorrow. Yeah, man, we are Lego that tomorrow, because we have a special female guest that will be joining us tomorrow on the coach's desk. Yeah, man, the beautiful. Oh, we can't let it out until you see the thumbnail. You understand? Big up on yourself. Anyways, me know I love the track and field thing, people. Tuffy Rudy, big up yourself. Ralston Watson, big up yourself. Hey, that me for talk about it, Jason. You have a super chat. You have a super chat for that go up, Brian. You have a super chat for that go up. You understand? Toki, big up yourself. Finally, a sober and sensible. Nitro, what you talk about? Eh? What you talk about, Nitro? What's the big outcry about the team? Me don't know the big outcry about the team. I'm telling you something. The coach have trust issues, so him no one release him team until he settle for everything. Think he coach a idiot. Big move that. Coach I do things his way now. Hey, I told you don't know. Hey, me soon tell you no what go on. Want to discuss Brittany Wilson workload. It's crazy. Yeah, man, we soon talk about that. I hope you didn't really think about this. Start up your mic. Turn on your camera. Load up the laptop and tell us this, okay? Please don't tell me that. What? I hope you didn't really think about this. Start up your mic. Turn on your camera. Load up the laptop to tell us this. To tell us what? What, me I get early call already? Welcome to the show. You're live and direct on the coach's desk. Early call. What go on?
Boy, you just said something a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could have done that to the man from where they,
Yeah.
So the coach, I got angry, team, and a guy now go tell him what to do and tell him when he put out in squad, and who he recruit, and who he might get. Kind of want nobody knowing business. And him go deal with this thing like the real G. Remember me tell you, man. You see how means most GC first we usually go. Remember me tell you, the man are angling business team way.
Yeah, man, a theme way, man. Coach of the things his way. I don't know pump push thing, I don't know press button thing. You understand?
No, you know, me are the big man round here. You understand me? Man, I'm
Hold on, we not hear you, Walsh.
yeah, man. Yeah, you hear me now?
Yeah, man, yeah, man.
You hear me clear now, me?
Clear, clear,
Yeah,
clear.
man. Different thing, man. Yeah, man. I really and truly want to know the squad and know what we get from England in terms of recruitment. But if you don't want to let it out and you want to hold it to the match day, you don't have a problem, man. One thing go, they're going to do the job. You understand me?
Seeing?
One thing go, they're going to do the job, brother. They're going to do that. Yeah, man. So I went inside the game, man. The 14th and the 19th.
15, the 15.
Okay.
Plus, you know, say the first game is gonna be behind closed doors. So a behind camera game that you know. So yeah, we now look like we're getting a broadcast on the first game.
That is why the man was in squad names. So everything is behind closed doors. You know, one load of it one we have in 19. So maybe there are some man where we think say boy for the English Premier League where we think say boy, yeah, this probably want them. I we don't know if we get them or yes or no. Maybe the man them the on base. That's a hideout and a build back. That's what I do.
But coach.
Yeah, Marlon.
Walsh, big up
yourself, Marlon.
It's a Walsh.
Who that Marlon, they know that Marlon to give me a shout and all Marlon can call
Marlon, I agree on the thing. Hey, Marlon.
Marlon.
I general this in a Marlon. You need to link it general, you know.
One, coach, I'm a classmate, you know.
No, man, you have to
Marlon
link
shout,
up with
man.
general, Marlon. You have to link up. I'm a boss, this, you know.
Come on, I'm a classmate, man. God, Marcus roll if him like 200.
No can see up on TV, brother.
Walsh, you link, Walsh, you link. Beg it down, by link. So, what I'm saying, still, I think a lot of person going on. If you notice, even before World Cup, when they play Qatar last year, it was behind the same way.
Yeah. So it look like a Qatar request.
A Qatar request and but let's say still, I think person just want to know who is there, who's in the 30-man roster so far, so you can have clarity and know what, because we see US release their Gold Cup squad, which is 16 MLS players and few Europeans, one Mexican base player. So basically we can see what we're gonna be up against. The Americans are not really pleased about it. Everybody's podcast I've seen all day, they're basically trying for that person in the team that shouldn't be there still. So I think we if we get it right and these two friendly games, everything go good, we could be in for a good World Cup going for the first game.
But Marlon, what you think about this big alabaloo about the squad not being dropped? Nobody know the squad, and you think there's merit to it?
Well, coach, I said it the other day. I even said it to Ryan. I said the coach gonna deal with information differently, because he find out there's a lot of persons who information goes out where he can even release it. So, and this is keeping everything locked. And person we're talking about press conference. I tell him say the only time is mandated to give a press conference is 2 days before the Gold Cup game. You don't have to do a press conference. A press conference is up on him if he want to do it.
Yeah, but there's gonna be a press conference tomorrow to release the squad.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah.
But person will say that he should have come back and give a press conference about the players he's scouted and things like that.
So you know, can have that type press conference?
Yeah, that's press conference is his choice.
Let me tell you this, Marlon. And if you look on the first, you remember I won the last game them play.
Mexico.
The Trinidad game and the Mexico game, right? Yeah. And you have players with dip on it, and then you hear say this a person you never get link, and that the person they never get link. So the coach is a man of, what I call it now, intuition. And him think, because he not just coach football. So the coach realize, and this is in my estimation, the coach realize that the last time they release some names, your ear said this a player not dead. So when him probably get back a squad, some of the players them not in the way, probably him really they want. So why coach I don't know, and me believe so the coach I try get everybody we're in a 60-man squad where him want to carry this so ensure say all of them documentation is up and they are there where he wants, where possibly he would have seen them with him 2 eyes. So nobody can tell him, say, you know, say, Marlon is not available. Marlon come out last minute. The coach now work with that. So the coach do things his way because he would have had that situation to deal with the last time. So me feel say that he might deal with. So me not think it's no secret thing with the squad. It's a meticulous thing the coach deal with. What say you?
Believe so as well. I believe so as well. I think a lot of person were saying that this person was there, that person was there, and then we saw the whole situation with Greg Lee and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember I said to Young Cataract that I see Taxi returning. Person were even saying that Taxi was retired and stuff. And then when Amarabel got that knock and was person said that he's probably out for the season, the way he came off the field. But they took him off for precaution. Then you see Amarabel and Taxi came, and then the coach was not going to bring 3 left back for 1 game.
Exactly.
So it's as I said, he wants to do things his way. As he said, he's learning our culture.
Mm-hmm.
He's adapting, but at the same way, he has his way of doing stuff. So at the same time, we have to adapt him because I someone from Iceland the other day, and he was like, Marlon, let me tell you this. For a former Icelandic, they said, whenever coach Heimer find that 30-man pool or 25 players, that's it. He said, whenever time he find those players 2, 3 deep in every position, that's it. Unless somebody break out and really do something exceptional, they might get a call in the team. He's a man who believes in his best 25 players. And we saw it from 2013 to 2018, the players that he had at his control.
Plus, you see, some folks are talking about the coach catch the bug. Mikey Ballin, big up yourself. I don't think the coach catch no fever, no disease or nothing. The coach.
No, man, the coach good, man.
The coach, as me say, the coach doing things his way. Remember, I see him, JFF people, them say them link this man here, and when they take a start, the man no get link, the club no get link, and none of that, you know. So who, as a good leader, would have sit down and just allow that to happen again? So he's basically proactive in his approach now. You see me I say? It's a proactive approach he's taking, one that is pragmatic. Me nah release the squad until me sure. Say, whoever we name, they're dead.
Not only that, coach. What the coach got to find out is that the JFF members eat too much cake, have slippery lips. And anything him say, when they expect to leak out. But tight ship, so himself. And a good coach as he is, a good coach is definitely a dictator. You understand me? And JFF, them always want to add and subtract, and him none of that. So I don't have a problem with whoever is in Germany, and I don't know.
Austria,
yeah. Well, yeah. Them still speak German. Yeah. I will find out tomorrow who on the 23 are on the 30. That's good enough for me. You understand me?
And you see why the fans are getting impatient. You see why the fans are getting impatient, me believe. You know, we want for inner the know. And we want to know if this a player there, this a player. If you start scrutinize and beat, quote unquote, beat the coach and all of these things. It's not all the time that we go on, man.
Jamaican love the cane, you know.
Yeah, man. Cat and nine.
And Coach Menzel.
Yeah, watch.
Question to you and the panel.
Yeah.
Question to you on the panel. Despite the coach name a 50-man squad, right? And it should have been 60. If 5 countries can list the amount they want to list. Can he add an additional 10 to that 50? Or the deadline already passed and that's it?
You know, that's a very good question. I don't know, but being that he would have named 50, that would possibly give him some wiggle room.
Yeah, but they had were mandated by CONCACAF to send in their 60-man pool. So if you send 25, those I guess.
Marlon, you break up. We're not here.
So I said, remember the CONCACAF give you a date to end. Guess what? I'm gonna say it. Because even today, US team, they were saying that there's a player that wasn't a part of the roster. So first we're saying how comes he got selected for a Gold Cup. So as I said, we don't know if they will make a leeway, but giving you that big pool, I don't expect him to make change unless the player is injured. And that's
exactly. And
that's why they also give you a chance to have a big pool of players. So you will see the best players that just in case somebody is not available, you have a person in your pool to choose from.
Hey, the comment section I go on nice, you know. Rob Smith are blazing in the comment section, you know. Rob Smith now take no prisoner. Him man a beat from Grimmy to everybody. All coaches this Rob Smith a beating them all on. Rob Smith said, no, star. Him man, them not even tag a ball at their name on the Instagram post. You see what I say? But guess what? The players are settling nicely in Austria. They had the first training session and it was in the weights room. You understand? All Coach Grimmy up on the weights, you know. Coach Grimmy sit down on the machine and I push the weights, you know. You see what I said? All right. Let me can't tell you some of my players that want me sit with my hey, Corey Barrett there, Rob Smith. Hey, you can't, see the link there, Brian. You can't come on and talk, Brian. Listen, we are not the repository of all knowledge, but me are telling you where my intuition tell me about what the coach do. See a caller come in. Walter, you still there?
Yeah, man, I got cut and go on sooner then.
All right, cool. Because our next caller come in.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man, all right, easy.
Yeah, man, cool. Welcome to the show, caller. You're live on the coach's desk.
Yes, so yeah, man.
Oh, this the man from Spain. The man with them RDN. Hello?
Yeah, hear me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, me I hear you. Yeah, man. So may I say, may I watch a program and me just watch a lot of the vlogs them or whatever we call it as it relates to where the Reggae Boyz is concerned. You understand me? I like that program because it deals with a lot of transparency, common sense, reasoning, and that is critical. Because sometimes I feel as if like the Jamaican fans, we're the biggest roadblock, over. You understand me? Because we complain if we have a coach who don't have a mind of his own or administration who is always quote unquote corrupt and they're behind time. You understand me? No, we have a coach. Remember, outside of being a coach, this man is a doctor, so reasoning comes naturally to him. And do stuff just to do it and do it because he has an agenda and him set a goal, and in order to get that goal, him set incremental gains. Him have to do. You understand me? So right now, whether it's a secret or not with the squad, me all right with it. See, because him know what him want and him have what him want, and eventually we will know it. So what we have to do, believe in the process, rally around the team, rally around the coaches, ensure that the office become the 12-man we used to be, and turn out and support like Mount Pleasant supported them yesterday.
You see me I say? And you see a lot of us, want the change of the coach, and the coach come in. Brian and and Rob Smith me attack. Man, them a beat me. Hey, my skin a rubber skin, you know. You know a big tractor tire them? Yeah, man, I made that, man. We're not afraid of beating. You see, you Rob Smith and, and Brian, listen, and we ask for the new coach, and the coach I do things his way. You understand?
Watch an interview. Like, sorry, go ahead.
No, man, yeah, make me give you preference to the caller, man. Go on.
All right, yes. Watch an interview the other day on a Caribbean program where they was asking the coach about pretty much his tactics and how him see coaching, you know. And the thing where man said to me, say, yo, in order to build a team, you have to start from the defense. You have to have a solid defense. And say if you plan to win championship, your defense has to be solid. And over the years, what we always complain about Jamaica might have a decent front four or front five. I wouldn't even say 6. But if we score 3 goals, the next team can score 4. You understand me? So now with the coach focus on building a strong defense in Jamaica, we already know we have some talented play up front. Then I really expect to see Jamaica go deep in this championship, and also after this championship to have CONCACAF looking at Jamaica differently. You understand me? Because a lot of times when you go into World Cup qualifier, teams like Panama, they already check out 6 points against Jamaica. You understand me? Like Panama just always figure out to beat Jamaica. So right now, with the tactical organization and the professionalism that I expect this coach to bring within the team, I really see Jamaica all the way up to 2027 to be a force to reckon with in CONCACAF.
Yeah, true. Big talk that caller.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate the call.
Bless up yourself. Yeah, man, me the all the way in Korea. Korea, me I watch it from.
Korea?
When the Reggae girls, yes, man, we are Korea, man.
Hold on.
So when the Reggae girls and the check-in, go ahead.
Me I go fast now. What you do all the way in Korea? The world want to know.
The US military, everywhere in the world.
Oh, it's an army, man. Big up yourself, youth. Big up yourself. Yeah, man. We just want you to stay safe, you know.
Yeah, best up over the Koreans over there.
Everything good, man. Can we girls forward over here when they play the practice match against Korea? You know, me the line up a full bus load of people and ensure so we go down there and support it. So all of them Jamaican supporters will see at the Reggae Boyz match. So that is my organization. So really pay attention to that thing. You know?
A big thing you're going with them, man. You're on the ground down there.
Which is right. You don't know that already. You know, for Jamaica journey, when I just show up,
you sound like a true patriot, and no matter where you are in the world, you are going to support the thing.
Yes, man.
And no matter the position or how the team are behave, you still support it, no?
No, man, it's just almost like us in this cricket, man. You bet, you know, so you get disappointed, but you still wake up early and you still late.
Hey, man, that's you see me in a maroon shirt, make you come talk about West Indies, though.
West Ham, listen, man. This is your shirt, and this is West Ham.
Oh, the claret. All right, sir. Anyway, Soldier, man, big up yourself, you know.
Yeah, man, that's all right, man. Man has our respect.
All right, same to you. All right, big up. So you hear that? You see, you have people who do work outside of this thing to enhance the world football. I support that man galvanize this, you know, when them there Korea to play the match, you know. That is a big thing, man. Big thing that. You see me I say? Yeah, so gentlemen, the people are, the players are in the gym. That's their working workout session, early session. So no ball. We see man like Corey Burke. We see man like Amari Bell. We see man like Pooh. See a man we call Kaim Paris. Rob Smith, Corey Burke, there man. Worry yourself, man. Worry yourself, Rob Smith. Hey, if I that you worry about Rob Smith, don't worry. Corey Burke is there. I don't know if that tomorrow, but we see Maria Pop, we see Richard King. Who else me say? Me say what the youth the name? What's his name again? Russell. Me say Kevin Lambert. You understand? You see a Mexico baller look like a Bernard, yeah? Boss, them did it. The ball of them did it, man. The ball of them did it. Not
Yeah.
everybody is there,
Coach,
but
this
yeah,
youth,
go ahead, Mikey.
this youth covers.
Hmm.
He's there too.
I'm not sure, you know.
Cause man
I
said
doubt Covers is there.
because he was in a 50-man squad unless him coach have him undercover.
He looks so, cause Covers him name. So a cricket match now and play. But what we hear about Demari Gray is that he's not gonna be there for the first game. It's a possibility that he'll be there for the second game. So that's the information we have where Demari Gray is concerned. Yeah. So Kevin Lambert is there. Who no want to see Lambert? Boy, him did it. Is him it? So I mean, like I said, the squad still have a cut because them have 30 men there or 32.
5 have to go or 7.
Exactly. And probably those 7 would have been in the fringe. So if there's any injury concern, and everybody know that one Damian Lowe suffered some sort of injury concern. We are hearing that it is hamstring. How severe it is, I am not certain. They probably have gone on an MRI to see the severity of it, whether it is a grade 1, grade 2, or you know, if he's out for the season. So Damian Lowe, we're not certain what will happen with him. But that is the situation as is right now. So they are settling into Austria. First thing, you know, I forget to say this, you know, we have a big up Simon Preston, the press officer, and we have a big up Omar Stenet, aka Manning's man, the Reggae Boyz manager there in Austria. That is a big move for the vlogging community to know that we have been asking for persons to be a part of the of the thrust of the new system that is being set up by the JFF, and to have 2 of our fellow content creators there. It is a good look. You know what this tell me, Mikey, and viewers and subscribers, you know what this tell me? This tell me that something might be brewing, you know. And yes, when time I think of some things, Marlon, sometimes the people say me I think too far, you know. But you see that youth brain rove, you know. And it roam, I mean not digital or flow. Because if you're gonna bring in Simon as a young gun, and you're gonna bring in Omar as a young gun, that tells me something, you know, Marlon and Mikey. I could be wrong, but I'm wondering if there has to be some sort of, what do you call it now? A bridge between the JFF and the coach, because the coach probably having some issues with them, and these 2 men would have been, what do I call it now? These 2 men would have been external. So there's no way, and probably are 2 men of them where the coach trusts. So there's no way these men will possibly try to tear down whatever the coach is doing.
Yeah, and
so me probably I think said them man are coming as a conduit to ensure say things are done the coach's way rather than the JFF way. And that's my little thought, you know, people. I could be wrong, you know.
yeah, man. And the temperament of Mansman and Simon goes well, because them they get flustered and hot-headed, and them able, and you can reason with them and talk out a situation more than a man fly. Them man not fly off of the hook so easy. You understand me? And I want, you know, Mansman. I don't really watch Simon that much, but Mansman is a good youth. You know what I mean? I'm proud. I'm happy for him. But you see, Mansman know what go on and who that them even call you and get a little inside squeeze as a flagger.
But still, you know, you have to respect them thing there, because yeah, man, I know, but at the same time when you draw that card, the audience have to know too.
Yeah.
Say,
yeah.
Say things might be a little bit more exclusive, isn't it?
Yeah,
and even though Mannings are with Bridging, we're not sure if Mannings are going to still be with source.
Yeah,
And
well,
even if he's our source, we can't make one know. You see me, I say?
I can't ever go squeeze him hard, you know? Like Grace catch up.
And also, the coach, I think with Mannings and Simon being a part of the YouTube world, right?
Mm-hmm.
They know that they have an audience, and you can get locals and people in the diaspora, right? And the Reggae Boy trade even more because they have that viewership there.
Mm-hmm.
I think somebody who's basically up to date with what is going on in the rules of football, they're in a position they were been before, but at the same time, we said social media is one thing that really sends out information, and I think all major federation is doing that right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something that the JFF need to get up to speed with. So I think having the coach seeing it and see these two gentlemen as persons who are doing very well and think they might have know how to do the things and two intelligent persons. So having them on board would be better for all of us. So I think it benefits them as well. Experience for them in the position they are, and it benefits the JFF as well. They have two young brains there with you. So.
Mm-hmm.
And these are persons who can also reach out to players and stuff like that as well. So you basically carry the bridge closer between the locals, whether you're in the local born players or overseas born player, wherever you're from. So they can so it's a easier way for you to really get someone on board, because person we're saying Earl Bailey doesn't really have that connection and they know how to do things and stuff like that. So having two young guns there now with him, it's even better.
Mm-hmm. And this and if the coach want these two persons around, then obviously we have to trust the coach.
Rob spent that easy, you know. The man said JFF or Mannings, man.
Hey, people are gonna say a lot. People are gonna say a lot of things, you understand? But I mean,
Eh?
me just feel say this is a good move, because if a coach take a route like this, Marlon, of not revealing the squad yet, me thinks there are some trust issues are going. Press conferences tomorrow, I don't know what time. Probably look more me find that out. But if the coach wants the things this way or his way, me believes there are some trust issues are going. You understand? Maybe there are some trust issues are going. And also, as me said, it could be a case where some weed worker are going to run through. If you understand what I say, I try speaking a parable, you know, but I don't know if you understand what I say.
Well, coach,
A weed worker might run, and these two persons might be the new plant in the soil. You get what I say? I'm not sure, but
understand, man. Understand where you go. And also, coach, it's person from Scandinavia, from Sweden, Denmark, right? I've worked with a lot of them, and these persons, they like to do things precise. They don't like
calculated.
Everything calculated, everything synchronized, right? I remember working with a director from Denmark for Carlsberg, and everything have to be on point. If it's 10 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock. If it's 10:30, it's 10:30, not a minute before. So that's how the Scandinavian are. They go in depth with stuff, and once you let them down once, they find another way to rebuild and come again. So any little glitches was there before. The coach is gonna find a way to really get it sorted out and do things his way. Once you run a failure on them once, coach, this is how Scandinavians are. They basically find a way to fix it back, and that's how it's gonna go.
Hold on. Hold on. This real Marlon? Kylian Mbappe to Manchester United?
Where that come from?
Huh?
Where that come from?
Fabrizio Romano?
Okay, a while ago.
Me just see it. At what time is it? 5:29, I know at 5:30. Why, Judge, I'm not sure still. We have to verify that. But
I know that one. And don't go away that is possible if the Saudis get it. With certain that the possible.
if what?
Unless the Qataris they get Man U, that's the only way that deal will be possible.
Channel Star. Let me go check it there. So leader, call in leader. Here what leader say. Trust issues, or is everyone not in camp, or they are sweating on a deadline for passports being ready? You think that could be the case as well?
The coach said they want a passport early. What was missing last week when we spoke last week was international clearance from FIFA and the release from the English FA for them Reggae and Latigo here. So where the passport not really coming from now?
I don't know a leader. Me here talk leader. Or is it the follower something the character that? Ain't leader? Oh, so leader change and say clearance. Okay.
May I jump off for a second?
Yeah, man, big up Mikey. Yeah. So leader change him argument, Marlon.
That's why I'm asking where this passport conversation coming from. I think FIFA international clearance, it will be for Latigo there and I think them are great.
Yeah, that me here. Yes, I say that me here, I don't know, but I mean, as you see the thing about this whole, well, you know, I don't want to go there so because, but Marlon, whichever, yeah, man. But me not see saying him gone and a Man U. But the post I say Fabrizio Romano. Unless the person in a one time zone with far than my one. And he don't show up on it on the social media yet. Where's the Jason? But me I show you when we get to that. Where's the a propaganda that originally spread Jason? A fake Fabrizio that. Oh God. But listen.
Coach, there's a Paris Saint-Germain are prepared to sell Kylian Mbappe this summer rather than risk losing him next year in a free summer transfer.
Yeah, me see that, but me no see part. That's why I got a two handles. Me go check in now. Me no see where the Fabrizio Romano thing they come from. You understand? USA have dropped their Gold Cup squad, almost mainly a MLS squad. US ripe for the pickings. You know one of the thing when me look on to Marlon. Every time we look on a US or Mexico drop them squad yet?
Nation League. They have a
Nation League. Then drop the Gold Cup squad?
No. But US has released both squad.
So why them why the fans of Jamaica behave so?
But all right, before US released their squad today, Costa Rica was the only team that released their squad of 25 players.
Look how much other country release squad. There shouldn't be any alabalu about it. So me can't understand why Rob Smith and him combo them. No, me not do part-time facial recognition. Me know some of my ball of them, man. Me know them. That I think, you know. Hey, you see when you're working at the bank, Rob Smith, what they teach you, you know? They teach you to know the real note. They teach you everything about the real note. So you see when the counterfeit note comes, it will be easily detected because you know everything about the real note. So, me not work with no facial recognition. Me just know the ball of them. So, it's easy to recognize and identify them. You see me I say?
And also, coach, personally, I say that the USA team is mainly MLS-based players. There are a few new players, but at the same time, we have to also remember what happened the last time,
Mm-hmm.
right? The last time everybody said it was going to be a walkover, and basically what they won the Nation League, they won the Gold Cup. So we can't really take that and say they have a mainly MLS players. Players are trying to get themselves a new coach there for the time being. So the person are trying to get in his team. So basically we can't really sit and say USA have a weakness squad or a B squad or anything like that. It's USA you're playing. And you know American players play with pride. So even if they bring some teenager come, they're gonna go there. But once they put on a USA shirt, they go to represent USA.
Yeah. No, man, me see say if Fabrizio Romano thing, man, me see it, man. What you say, Jason Guna, me see it, man. But me not study Fabrizio Romano page. But me see what you talk about, me see it. But you know, so we have a boss the place. If him come at United, that two United man they on the show right now. You know, so why you go dig so because you don't want that for happening. You know, Marlon.
That would have been really be a big impact for Manu because a striker. They're even this morning I was on and the person were talking about Neymar to Manu, right? I think all stuff things are not really good at PSG. And Messi say he wasn't happy and stuff, and then other players are saying that the last year wasn't really that good. So I think things are not right there. So Neymar left at the same way and said things were the last year of his contract wasn't his best and things weren't really good there. So it's a chance, and I think if PSG want to get some funds for him, than leave him on free. But I said, does Man U have the money? 140 million to pay for him now, and risk not getting a midfielder and another defender that you want. You want a striker at the same time, right? I think Mbappe still not proven as a number 9. He's more out and out winger. Still not good with holding up the ball with his back to goal. So that's a different feature of his game coming to England. You have to work on. So you basically will have him and Rashford the same as two left-sided winger.
Yeah, man. Something that say we know for try censor the fire burn. Sean Ellis. Me not censor. People are talk about the fire and me are talk and me are show the water. You understand? Me not censor it. How potent your fire is, though. Boy, look at my water work.
They say fire and blaze.
Yeah, about my fire now, you, Sean.
Coach, you ready game yesterday last night?
No, me tell us me go one function, brother. Make me say the function end up go start late. Couldn't move. You see me answer?
I think it was a good final. I think both coach basically I said it to somebody the other day. Right? I said that from the first quarterfinal game when one person played Gombe Holland, fans went out top ahead. Right? But you see, from the 80 minutes of that game, everything Tapa has done for Mount Pleasant lead up to last night. Nothing has gone wrong. Right ranking in 85 minutes, he equalized against Gombe. Start him in the game, he scored. Right? Every player, everything he has done, everything is just moving together. And a person might say that he had the best players and stuff like that, but guess what? When you have the best players, it's how you manage them. And I think that's what he has done well. Because coach, I give him hell February down at Jackson. Man, I give him healthy a game down there. And he must say everybody not fully fit. The man will come in. No worry about it. Right? And other than Mount Pleasant fans were saying that here, we're not beat Tia yet, we're not beat Tapa. Just giving some time with the players because if you look at the squad still coach, when you have Shaki Dyer, Daxley, Tope, and Richie, these are 4 centre backs who could start in the Premiership team. Right? The left back, you look at Kimani Campbell and what's him again, Sigri. They can start in the Premier League team. Right back, same way. Roddy Moore was one of the better right backs in the league last year. I went there when Makala was playing right back. Some of the time I was losing it. But midfield, when you have Isaac who's out injured, and remember now, they lost their number 1 keeper after 6 games. That broken foot.
Yeah. And the replacement keeper held his own, you know.
But he was injured as well.
Mm-hmm.
He had a broken collarbone. And Russell was there. Russell made a mistake and gave away 2 goals. And from Shaquan Davis went in that goal. And I saw him get the first time against Arnett. First we were saying, guess what? He's not coming out the goal again. And I think the coaching staff trusted him. Tap a gamble. Because coaching made some big gamble now. Dyer was out of the side for like 6 games, you know. And he brought him in against Arnett, a running Arnett team. Right? Because the season started off with Tope and Dyer being the 2 out and out. Right? Richie will come off. Daxley was injured at the time. But when I was in the stadium, I see in some of the parents, Stepper start Richie and Dyer. I said, what kind of money Stepper really come and study now? But guess what? They held up on it. Right? And I think I was actually saying to that, so Richie, what he does, coach, he uses experience. He doesn't have the full speed anymore. But what he do, once he goes out on the flank, he get his body behind the ball, open his wings. So all you're gonna do, once he open his hands, there's one thing you're gonna do. You're gonna fall him because you're not gonna get to go around him. And I think he reads the game well. A little bit rush at times, right? But I think Tapa got everything right from the quarterfinal starter, and I just big him up because guess what? Many coaches came there, the quality player was yesterday, but it was how you get them to manage them. Because if you have a Bygrave and a Fletcher in a team and Trevor Stewart, it's not every coach gonna try to please the players. And I guess he get the players. I went training the other day, watch him, and everybody was enjoying the training. Right? And I think the coaching staff, they work well together. So everything was penciled out. Decision making, I said, I have to give him that. I remember as a national coach, we beat him for changes. Right? Even last night when he took off Devante off the field, person was like, no, why are you taking off Campbell? But you brought on 2 experienced players, Fletcher and Morrison. And I think they basically came on and Cavalier. When Cavalier scored still, first we're expecting that Mount Pleasant might be just sick back now because they were basically controlling the game up to that point. And I think the coach Speed last night because Cavalier started with 3 speedy players, right? Robinson, Webster, and Anderson. But Webster was out of the game for most of the time. So the Cavalier have to really go and play a counter-attacking game. Went long most of the time to use
speed.
Yeah,
most a long ball.
So when I hear a person saying that Tapa Mount Pleasant play long ball, I ask them where. When they went long, was probably a 40-yard ball up to Trevor Stewart, which he was fighting with Leng and Ming throughout the whole game. But we have as I said, it's
so
a long.
What has this victory done to Tapa's legacy? Because remember, you know, when persons were saying Tapa need for coach and who needs craft in the Premier League or one high school team and a lot of things. Now that he has coached for a season, full season in the Premier League from pre-season coming right back, and he ended up on the winning end. What has that done to his legacy? Fans, drop that in the comment section. Or not tell me what kind of Tapa now look on now. Big up yourself, Tiddlywinks.
Well, coach, I said being here over the past 3 months and watching him watching him most of the time now. I see somebody who's more communicative with the players now. I know you have them every day, so basically you get a better understanding with them. But I think he has a lot of improvement to do still. Sometime when he needs to make that in-game adjustment, he doesn't make it at times. I remember the coach, and I think that's what I said to person that argument, so that's why I have high respect for him. He sees the danger and he tries to adjust to it fast. Right? I think that's one thing Tapa still say, but I think with the coaching staff you have there, technically and tactically is getting better, right? Our leader said that Tapa is just a face guard. Is Ferguson is a mastermind of everything. Remember that Tapa.
Ferguson is good, but mastermind of everything. No, Tapa must have an input.
To give the man, that's why I asked him last night if he watch a team train, because I have been at training session and watch him train.
Yeah, but tell me that Tapa play football at a high level in England, professional level. Might not be the highest level. And you tell me say him not learn nothing to give. No, sir, I not agree with that. But kudos to Davian still. Davian know the game.
As I said, still, the whole coaching team, Barrett, everybody come
Barrett too, as the goalkeeper coach. I mean, I think him only assist with the goalkeeper. Of course, him input tactically as well.
Right. And I said, coach, what I saw last week, everybody was basically in tune. Guess what? Remember, this project started 2017, right? I remember a person I used to play with, the Cardiac Sims, the Gregory Tape and all these guys. What's his name? Shah from Arnett Garden, all these guys I used to play with. When I saw them, I said, hey, what you guys really up to? They said, there's a project on Tigat was the coach at the time. Didn't work the first year. They went to the Eastern Conference playoff, got knocked out the semifinal. Next year they came, make it, went up with Dummy Holland, and I think the structure has been there, the base was built. This year, Lucky came in as coach and they've tried to bring in experience to keep the team up afloat so you can survive your first season. Right? The first season was not about to win it, although the Bembo and Bushy came in, everybody. It was getting experienced players who are Premier League made players, so you sustain yourself through the league. Dumby Holland did it the same way, and both teams are the same way. And they are look at it. Dumby went final last year. We went final this year. We win it. So it's actually show that both teams that came up in 2018 really merit themselves in the Premiership. Yes, everybody is gonna have a big talk to say, guess what? Money is there. It's reasonable.
Give thanks, Marlon. Good to hear you. You're always coming forward with your real in-depth knowledge of the Jamaican game. Over the last 10 years, how does this Jamaican Premier League rate for you?
I think if I go by seasons, I think 2015 when Moby won 2015 and it Portmore. I think Moby on it final. That season was a good season as well. But I think if you compare 2019, the season was better than last year as well. I think last year we were coming after pre-COVID. But I think I'm going to tell the person this, right? When the players get quality field to play on, they perform better, right? The other day I heard somebody was saying that he was watching the game the other day and he didn't see 10 passes in the game, right? When you sit back and watch it and watch the game on the television, you will see passes were strange, right? So the quality this year still, as I said, and the better surface reservoirs, they look better, right? But I think the bigger boys who are better structured and financially can compete. Because if you look at it, I think the top 6 team, XO probably Waterhouse, and if you look at the Waterhouse and Portmore, 2 big teams in Jamaica not reaching the quarterfinal, top 6. That show you that Cavalier and Dumby Holland and Portmore, Arnett, Harborview, right, and Humble Lions are doing something really good. Those are 2 powerhouse teams. Right, Portmore was the most successful team in the league history, and they didn't make it. So the quality, as I said, from the quarterfinal game down, the quality was good.
Yeah,
exceptional.
All right, so people, like up the stream now, people. Wanna like up the stream now, man? 100 likes with 280 odd people watching. Come on, people. Come now, man. Like up the stream. Like up the stream. Big up the brain drain on that super chat. Put some respect on Tapper's name. Yeah, Reason Boss. What you think I go on with this squad thing? You think say the squad? Well, before I get into that, people. Reason Boss, give me a second there. You know, some things say. Hey, fooling is going still in a Marlon and Reason Boss. Or if you send the two man them, or you have two invitees, two young persons to join the four, and you know, give man them no paperwork. The man them just gone so. They don't know what they signed to because they don't sign nothing. JFF. That no look good. It no look good. I don't know what to think, but it no look good to me. Brain drain to prediction, Tapper will be the national coach again. But seriously, man, it no look good. It no look good. So, man, them gone and there's nothing concretized from the federation.
Well, from London, England, there's 2 points I want to just jump on and just to see what kind of clarification yourself. Well, you've given some clarification, Coach Minzy. But Marlon, one, is this standard issue for the JFF to not issue contracts? I was under the impression that a contract, something in paperwork, would be signed. But as the days and weeks went on, listening to Ryan LFC, listening to the various platforms, I started to get the impression that, just as Coach Minzy said, things weren't going to be crystal clear. And the likes of Catarakas mentioned that, you know, got to be careful exactly what are going on. Now, is this standard issue for the JFF? Are they covering themselves? And is Manning's man and Simon at ease with what are going on because they don't maybe consider themselves of high enough esteem, experience to demand paperwork and demand something more concrete? Secondly, Tapper berating. I saw Tapper berating. I had to do a double take. Is that Tapper such man? Berating. Was it number 6, Doxley? Berating the central midfielder, standing in the middle of the pitch. Now, to be fair, there are levels to this game. Watching the JPL this season, Mount Pleasant should consider themselves not fortunate, but I think they had everything in place to win this league. JPL league is not very highly looked upon as far as I'm concerned, but I do agree with you, Marlon, that there is maybe more strength in depth from what I'm seeing. The fact that, as you said, Waterhouse, traditional powerhouse, Portmore United, who with Arnott Gardens were my favorite 2 teams to watch. Arnott and Portmore, tactically, style of football, I enjoyed it. But defensively, the midfield, the final third of the games, them not ready. And the likes of Chris Williams talking about having JPL-based players. How Tapper could rely on JPL MLS kind of players and that squad without calling upon the Jamaican diaspora talent is beyond me. You can never persuade me anytime soon. You cannot persuade me that a Jamaican Reggae Boyz team can be seriously successful in the CONCACAF region, let alone world level, without embracing fully and ably, as I hope Coach Haimau will be doing, without embracing the Jamaica diaspora players. That includes everyone from Mikel Antonio to people like Kaheem Paris, who is overseas, Richard King, overseas. Clearly, they've matriculated, have the ability. Even Ronaldo Cephas, I think he's a bit of a dark horse. He could get into the Reggae Boyz squad. But there's a bag of talent from Jamaica, and they are not repeat, not JPL players. You've got to look long and hard to find, hand on heart, JPL-based players who can actually wear the jersey and produce quality with a capital Q performances. I don't know what you make of that. Go ahead, sir.
Well, that is that 3-course meal. Anyways, Virgin, it's when you ask a question, don't give us a soliloquy because we might not remember everything that you say. Just try.
You're quite right.
Just try.
You're quite right.
Come in and remember everything what you said a while ago. To be honest, you understand?
Let me rewind. I'm gonna rewind and take it back to front.
Just want to plug this. Just want to plug this. That even though there might not be any form of black and white written agreement, of course, you know that in the field of law there is what you call verbal agreement. You understand? And that might not be the very best thing to do in this situation. But I mean, it is still an agreement. But when you do things like these, me thinks the black and white speaks. You talk about speak. That is black and white. You understand?
Anything you're doing in a professional organization, right? You need signatures on it to really show that yes, we signed for this and we agree to this, right? Verbal agreement don't really mean nothing yet, right? We can agree verbal, but guess what? Nothing written there.
Because a man can change upon him something there, you know. Him agreement verbally, you know. But
it looks like this could cover the JFF and also at the same time be quote unquote beneficial, acceptable to the likes of a Manning's man or Simon Preston, because they've been called in to assist, just the very calling to assist, to be part of the camp and the organization. That alone may be sufficient as far as they're concerned. And then, dependent on how things go, then they could start talking about putting pen to paper and drawing up certain things. But right about now, I just get the feeling that there's a little fluidity, flexibility, and empathy, and appreciation from both sides for the state of play. And of course, ultimately, Coach Heimar is where the buck should be stopping. So I think those guys are happy to be in the position. It's good for social media, and it's good for the players to have a professional manager. I'm so happy to see Coach Heimar doing his job, radio silence. Everybody's wondering about the team. I'm not sure how good that is, actually. I'm not sure how good that is, the shush shush, what's happening, silence. But I'm saying the glass is half full. They have business to attend to.
I bet you if the man come out and talk. Remember when Mr. Chung come on these streams and talk, you know? The man, yes, name him Chatty Chung, you know? So, most times, you do your work in silence.
Sometimes you can't win. Sometimes you can't win. I mean, Coach, hand on heart, how do you feel? Would you prefer, I mean, you've been in the landscape a little while now. Would you prefer more access, more communication, or do you feel uneasy? Marlon, same to you. Do you feel uneasy, or do you feel, well, hold on, they're doing something, just level vibes? Or do you think, wait, communicate with the fans? That should be part of being professional.
The coach should communicate with the fans. But if you look on different coaches around the world, you understand? I don't think we have seen where the coaches around the world are coming on these podcasts or podcasts like these to tell the fans what is happening. They might hold a press conference and the podcast owners or operators will be at those press conference to ask their very own questions. So in terms of the coach coming out and always, I guess, because he was on Manning's Man show, then should it be an ongoing thing that we just call him up and say, Coach, you can come on to the show. We have a few questions to ask. Me believe, and not everybody's going to subscribe to this. Not everybody's going to subscribe to this, but coach is supposed to have some level of exclusivity. You talk when you have to talk. The coach can't be commoners. When Tapa never do the interview them and them thing there, me did I say him to do it. But after you dig deep and you do your research and all of these things, you realize the coach is supposed to have some sort of exclusivity. You understand? Because you can't come on with the thing. If him come on a show, probably 2 shows for a year or 3 the most, I don't have no problem with that. But every week, every month on a show, once a press conference, I don't see no way to happen in that world. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right, coach. As I said, I think a lot of person made a big deal about Mulligan coming to US, but it also started from mainstream media, ESPN, Hercules Gomez and these guys started to say that he's coming home and stuff. And then when the player came out and said he's pledging his international allegiance career to US. So then that's when person start really, but you don't find coach going on podcast. And I think another person used to be Berhalter for the same thing in the US. I said, boy, he doesn't come and speak to the media unless he's going to a competition. He select the players and he just do it. Because remember, you have to remember that the coach is hired to do his job. And as I tell person last week and some person were upset, I said the coach does press conference when he wants to do it. Right? The JFF cannot say, hey, go do a press conference. It's his job. He's hired to do a job. So he makes his decision. Right? The squad, he's the one who decides, hey, we're going to reach the squad this time. Because he's the one who chooses the squad. So if I also remember that. So he's the one who's getting paid for it, you know. So the decision comes with him.
What you say, Tiddly?
I've got to agree. The contrast between Tapper times and Coach Heimer times, initially anyway, and then with the likes of Dennis Chung being available to come onto social media and field the questions, it's been a real contrast. But where Tapper just was not really the most communicative on the field as well as off it, we found. Coach Heimer has been found to be much more sociable, but, and here's the but, having appeared on Manning's Man and fielding question, what's the best thing you learn? What you learn from being in Jamaica watching the games? Well, me know about the language and me learn about, but, hey. You see, that was very, very funny. It also, I think, probably gave Coach Heimer a lot of time to reflect and think, maybe check out the fallout, the feedback, and when he's probably got an assessment of the situation, how the land lies, he's realized, look, I'm here for long-term development, but I may not physically be here. I might be laying the groundwork for younger players, under 17s, under 20s, being part of a system where Jamaica can be stronger. But he wants, as he said from his own lips, he wants to win. He knows it's a results game, and he's going to be having to make tough decisions. And this is where I want to ask this question again. Having sat in the stands and watched some of those JPL games, whether he's skinning his teeth with Manning's Man, he may have come to the conclusion pretty sharpish as to who is capable of cutting it at international level. Then this silence got me thinking, are there certain people maybe, you know, whispering in his ears, reasoning with him, suggesting that such and such, proverbially and metaphorically, yes. But there could be, you imagine, as I said, I'll say that again, watching the JPL, even though it's improved as Marlon accurately suggested, there may be more strength and depth at the top level. Respect to the humble lion, loved how they approached this season. But if you told me that there's more than a handful of JPL players who are capable, 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% ready, primed, oven baked to represent the Reggae Boyz, to lift a Gold Cup or go deep in a Gold Cup and then to try and get Jamaica to the World Cup, I'd be shaking my head and I'd listen carefully and I'd be willing to be persuaded. But you'd have to give me a strong argument that there's more than 5, for example, bona fide JPL players ready and capable to make a 23-man squad in Coach Heimar. I look forward to seeing how this thing goes. Marlon, do you agree?
Richard, when you look at the depth we have in position right now, right? I think the 2 strikers deserve to be mentioned. Defenders, I think Romain Blake is somebody could be for the future, right? Right, that's 3 person. Phillips, Anglin. There's that many. If you're looking at the international, we're talking about. I'm not talking about a person who's gonna start. These are person you can have around the senior team. As when I spoke to Trevante a couple of times, he said going to Mexico, he learned a lot from being around Boz and Corbrook and these players and seeing it eat up in the training etiquettes and what they do and stuff, right? So sometimes just being a part of a camp, it really can make them become better players because they see the level they are and they see the level they should be if you want to make it as a professional footballer. But Richard, as I said, it's very, very hard. If you're looking at it, for a person like me that know what is around there in CONCACAF, right? If you look at what the other teams are doing, right? If you look at a team like Grenada who has players coming in from the UK, right? Players from the US coming in and stuff. We have to realize that it's not 20 years ago now, when we used to you're gonna play St. Kitts or St. Lucia and these players. Remember that St. Lucia have 7 players playing in the JPL, right? And 5 of these players are starters, right? Daxley plays for St. Lucia. There's I think there's a guy from Ipswich Town. I don't remember if he's there, that plays for St. Lucia as well. And Daxley started by some of the time for St. Lucia national team. So these players, the league for them is beneficial to them because they're getting, for them, when you are talking to the guy, they say playing in Jamaica, it's a better level of competition for them, right? Whatever is benefit them. If you look at it, Richard, our players who plays in the USL, when they come, they look normal. The players from Guatemala and the player from El Salvador that plays in the USL, when they go back to their team, you can see the difference they add to the team, right? I don't know, it can be because we have higher quality players coming in from higher leagues than the USL, but the USL players, when they come, the only person might be perform credible is Speedy, right? And Lambert, when he does get games sometime, and personally I'm not really too fond of him same way, right? Jamali Wade, I think Jamali Wade is one of the best young keepers in the USL. A person might be saying he's playing in the USL. If you have watched him this season playing in the US Open Cup, he has been outstanding. They got knocked off by Cincinnati last week, but he's really improving. As I think he's really one of the top keeper in the USL right now, and I'm looking for him to probably make a move next season.
You mentioned Trevante.
Hold on there, Richard. Just
Yes, sir.
Just an update on the game on Thursday. All right. So I said initially that the game will be behind the camera. It will be 11 a.m. Jamaica time. That's when the game will be played. 11 a.m. Jamaica time. That's the game against Qatar. Behind closed doors, as I said before. And the other match, the 19 versus Jordan, will be 7 a.m. Jamaica time. So this is a bit of information where the games will be concerned. I wouldn't even try to pronounce the stadium where it is going to be played because I don't speak German. So I'll leave it as is. Yeah, you can go ahead, Tilly Winks.
Yes, give thanks. Thanks for the information, Coach Minzy. Marlon, Trevante Stewart, when he scored that brace against Arnett Gardens, those goals, well taken. those moments showed me, yeah, this player is one to watch, and he's had a very good season. Colin Anderson, former athlete turned professional footballer, he's had a commendable, highly commendable, visually impressive season in the JPL. But we saw him against the Soca Warriors. Right about now, the stakes are relatively high. And I don't feel necessarily, personally, that this is the time for getting players in who are looking to improve, learning the ropes still. I think in America they had Pepe, for example, made a immediate impact and then took some backward steps. They weren't standing on ceremony. In comes Balogun and Pepe is hardly spoken about. When you're representing your national team in an ever more competitive CONCACAF region, you need ready-made players, and that includes young talent ready to get in and deal with the fire. If you're telling me, let me put it straight to you, do you feel, it's an opinion, a Jamal Lowe QPR is superior to a Colin Anderson or a Trevante Stewart?
Yes, Richard. Richard, it's two different ilk of players. Jamal Lowe is a player is proven already, proven in the English leagues, right? Trevante, as I said, remember these two players were not two persons that went through Manning Cup and light up Manning Cup or anything like that, you know, right? Trevante Stewart at Mullines wasn't the best player there, right? I think when Mount Pleasant bought him last season, person was saying that they should have gone for Nicholas Nelson. But however, I think the coaching staff at the time saw somebody that they could probably have for the future and could build a team around him. And remember, he had 3 goals when I think 2 or 3 goals when he left Armour Lines, and he finished the season last year with 12. So I think coming into Mount Pleasant, he fit the system. And if you look at the play that Mount Pleasant got last year to where he is now, is a totally different player. So he has improved. He's not. I'm not going to say he's ready for the international level to lead Jamaica attack. He has a lot of development to go, and I'm looking for him and his agent to get himself out of the league. Another thing again, with the team qualifying for the Champion League, although it's next year August they were playing, so I think whatever contract agreement they have with the team, I think if they get a good offer, they cannot bypass on it. But these are players. Richard, I think these two players, being person who are not the stars like the Fleming and the Maggies coming through high school. I think these are players that you can take and work with and develop them.
Yeah.
They're willing to listen. They know they have flaws, and they're willing to learn. And that's what I like about them. And
likewise,
hard. The ones who come to know as the high school stars, they feel like they're ready made and they reach already. And when they go on the international scene, they get lost. But I say they're not ready. They're not ready for international football, basically. But when a player is hot, and you talk about the 2 goals he scored, he did it yesterday again. The only thing he didn't score, he got King and control it and turn him same way, right? And what compare when I spoke him the first time in February, and when I spoke him back in early April, he's a different player because he's using his body now, he's using his speed, he's using his skill set. Because first used to say that he doesn't have a skill and he doesn't have a speed, right? You see the raw pace on Colin Anderson. Stuart is no slouch as well, right? But they are 2 different players. They are 2 different players. But I said these are 2 strikers we have, and it's the first time in so many years we have 2 players scoring over 16 goals. First time in about almost 15 or something years somebody scored 20 goals. So we have to really commend them on the job they did in the league. For me, still, where they were at the first round to where they finished now, you're not talking about players. One was on 14 goals and one was on 13. So they really fall off. After both of them got caught in the national team, they really went off on a boil. They couldn't score a goal.
And that's why I'm aware.
We understand that Stuart is based on an interview that he did. Is a possibility that he will not return to the league next season. So something is in the pipeline for him.
I heard the interview. It's very interesting. And
I had somebody last week with me at the second leg last week against Arnett, right? And the guy said he's a player that person will take in Europe right now. He said he's not the finished article, not the finished product, but guess what? He has something that's not out there. It's really out there. A big body number 9 player that you can take and make him who you want him. And so it's a coach in Europe will see him as a player, not the finished article, but you can take him and really make him what you want. He's very, very rare, right? But we're talking about a target number 9. He's a person like Drogba, right? Not saying he's Drogba now, but you're talking about the same body mass, same body size, right? And a person is willing to learn. So if somebody can take him and have him for half season, you take him to a full preseason, and he start
willing to. The willing to learn part is the thing that really impressed me when I heard him interview, and for it to come from his own lips that he's aware of his let's call it limitations, but he's aware of his potential and where he wants to get to and where he can get to. And when you're prepared to work hard, listen, soak up the information, and carry out the instructions, that is a potent combination. So I'm wishing Trevante Stewart the very best. I can see him being an effective player in another country, another club, and I wish him well. He's got, as you said, really good qualities to make an impact. Marlon, my mouth was opened at the lack of defensive nous, and that's before I get to the midfield. Watching the final last night, the midfield area, what is the issue with Jamaican football? That's where you see the levels. I mean, people, you can just walk through both sides, to and fro. It's as though the midfield is non-existent where it comes to tackling, defending. And then, as you said, it was noticeable. Coach Minzy and Marlon, viewers and subscribers, remember to hit the like button, please. It was noticeable that if these guys fell off, relatively speaking, goal scoring, in this league, in the JPL, if you're a quality striker of note and you have an eye for goal, you can get a bundle of goals with the defenses that you come up against. But alas, one of the issues is the decision making in the final third. I did a video of a few hours earlier reviewing the JPL season and the final, and the decision making in the last third of the pitch, knitting passes together to create opportunities. You check out someone like a Pep Guardiola, man, you train, you work, you plan, and when you can knit passes together, by the way, big up T-Gat Davis and Arnett Gardens, because in their interview, they said, look, the style of football they want to play is reminiscent of overseas football in Europe, where you're passing, you're linking up play, you're creating opportunities. They don't just want it for Arnett Gardens. They want this kind of football to go throughout the JPL. So quality is something that I can see is very much lacking, but there are shoots for hope and optimism. But the center of midfield, let alone the defensive shortcomings of these JPL teams, it consistently leaves me open-mouthed. What's the problem with the central defensive situation in Jamaica? Can we fix it? Is it sexy enough? It's a real issue of content.
But I don't really want to play at a position there. I think it's lacking. Is it a situation where it is not coached? You find more speedy players, players with raw skill and all of these things. I'm wondering if the defensive midfield position, central midfield position, is one that is not been taught in a way whereas the coaches understand, because we've been producing awesome talents in defense, flank players, which are the wide midfielders, attacking midfielders, and forward. But we're lacking in that era for sure.
Well, it's been a long time. As I said, the last two we had, talk about Jason Morrison, Rudolph Astin, Haka, and Haka and Astin were more box to box. Morris was like somebody was in there. Only bigger Thomas as well, right? If you look at it going back way back, right, it's always a problem position for us. Even in '98, Cargill was there. Chris Dawes, right? After that, we brought in Mika Hyde, in Richard Langley and these players in the team, Jamie Lawrence. So that position, Richie, we haven't really get a chance to really see it. But if you look in the league,
Even
now,
though, yeah,
even the league right now, there's not much CDM players playing CDM there. Their players are more box to box. But I just spoke about the game last night. I think Arnett plays two players who plays. I wouldn't say they're really out and out CDM. They'd be more back to backs. Guthrie and Marlon Martin, right? But I don't see them at the international level, right? I think as an out and out, see them in the league. I think Isaac at Mount Pleasant was out injured for most of the season, which should be back next year. I think he might be the one who can be the destroyer, but at the same time, age is catching up. I'm going 27 now, but he will be the closest thing there. Talk about Vanzi. Vanzi had more turned himself more like a box-to-box player for Humber Lions as well. Good going forward, good going defense. So we don't really have that out and out player that we said. What person are looking for now, Richard? A destroyer player like a Clark Makalele back then, right? But most modern day coach, the one person who are good going forward and good going.
and good going. Yeah, so I mean the box to box number 8 type of ballers. The number 6 is relevant, But even world football, see a lot of number 6s either,
Look at it. Remember, if you look at even in the World Cup, right? Brazil, Casemiro and Fabinho, right there. Those are two you had in middle at one time, right? And actually, Casemiro was playing like a box to box, going forward and coming back, and Fabinho was holding Argentina side, right? Fernandez, Pereira went to the bench. Then you so it's really this. Yeah, Macalester was playing with Fernandez there. So once you can go forward and come back and help in defense, it's that what most coaches are looking at. And our coach is a person who likes players who can go forward, help in attack and help in defense. So if he find a quality CDM player, yes, you will see him. But if he can find two persons can go in. I remember we saw Lambert there in Mexico. All right, John Russell was there, but he still went to Rabela. So he is a person who trusts players. And I think he had more trust in those two players than Russell was new, so you're not gonna find him put a new player in the team like that, especially in a stadium like the Azteca for you to go make your debut. So it's really interesting to see. So as I said, it's very, very, you have to find coaches who are gonna work and play. And that's why I said Romain Blake, I think Romain Blake could be the key for that, for the future for us.
Interesting. It's a standout position. Listen, Arsenal.
Keep talking. Give me a second.
No problem, King. No problem, Inzi. I mean, at Arsenal, you got Xhaka, Partey, Man United, Casemiro, Manchester City, Rodri, the goal-scoring winner for Manchester City. It's such an important position. And going back to the JPL, Marlon, I don't know about you, but I believe that high footballing IQ is regarded and needed for those number 6, number 8 positions. So when it comes to looking for gems, looking for players with the work ethic and the high footballing, footballing IQ to operate in those positions. If I see one in the JPL, I'm gonna remember this show, save this show, and remember the names that you've put forward, Marlon. If I see a player who can be instrumental and effective in the JPL, in those positions, they're worth their weight in gold. I mean, can these players make a difference in the JPL, or really is it all about the wingers and the strikers, where where the JPL is concerned at the moment, Marlon? Is it not necessarily the necessity for a Casemiro type player, a Partey, a Rodri type player that is needed in the JPL? Because at international level, I believe they are needed. Speak, sir.
Yeah, Richard, as I said, still, I think, and it has come from players coming from, if you're not being coached to play this way from an early age, right? 'Cause there's a certain fundamental you have to do. Remember now, when you're playing as a CDM, you have to remember that, guess what? Discipline the defense, right? Go forward. You're basically the shield for the back four. You cover the wing back when the wing back goes forward, you drop in that pocket, whether right or left. If a centre back go forward, you come back and you pay additional centre back there. So it's a position players have to learn. I remember one time I played a position and after 10 minutes I tell the coach I want to come off. Right? Guess what? You have to be disciplined because guess what? When you're in a position, you read the game and you follow the ball, you basically gonna lose it. Right? What other coach for earlier dog?
He's just fixing up. Everything blessed.
Come on, it dog is I'm on a pass, I want to cut off heads. Yeah, but as I said still, as I said, if it's a position, Richard, if you don't discipline yourself there, you're gonna get winded on the field. Because you have to really know when to go in the attack, when to defense. So basically, you have to be very, very disciplined. And you hear Nina Lowe say it. You hear it. He said it's a position you play, you do a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. But Marlon, do you agree with Raymond? Big up yourself, you know. Hey,
Heal up, Raymond. Heal up.
do you agree with Sean Ellis that one of the problem is that coaches might see a very good, technically gifted youngster that could operate in that position, but after seeing the youngster operating, the coach quickly switch them to a centre back because, of course, you know that everybody wants to solidify a defensive section of their team in order to probably what you call it now, develop around that. So instead of playing the youth in the central defensive position to cover the defense, they put that player in the defense. Do you agree with that from Sean?
Sometimes, but as coach, when you analyze and you're setting up your team, right? Because guess what? You see, a CDM can go and play center back and he can adjust to it, right? It's hard to take unless it's a really high quality center back and put him in that midfield, right? Because remember, when you're playing as a center back, you read the game. Sometimes you're the last man, right? Sometimes you either go first in the tackle hands up. When the thing the CDM have, the good CDMs, they can read the game, so they're better read of the game because you know if you have to go, especially in a counter, what to do and stuff like that. But I've seen the coach. I was saying to somebody that if you look in the league right now, a lot of the centre backs they are very, very small, right? A lot of the centre backs they're like 6'1". You don't have those big like when you still have Carl Davis and Stoopies and this guy playing in the league. You have 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", these players. We don't have them anymore, right? That's why it's too far, and that's why a person might say the only probably tall centre back there is Topi and what's his name for Arnett again? Cunningham. And Cunningham is not that a star. Topi has everything, but I think he needs to get back his confidence and get himself started out and try to find back his way in football again. Right? But he's the only one who has a centre back there. So if as I say, you look at the CDM there, the CDMs are small, the two are Arnett, but they're not international quality. The closest one I have there, Angling, and Angling is more focusing on attack for Harborview than being a CDM. It's not the play that we saw that burst on the stage in 2019. You go to Portmore as Siggy Knight is more a box-to-back, somebody who control the flow of the game by playing, right? Rankin is a person. Cavalier doesn't really have a out and out CDM that you could say ready for international football. right? As I said, the only person you could bring out there, I think, what's his name again? At Humble Lions. I said his name earlier on, the captain for Humble Lions. 32.
Makala.
Oh man, not Humble Lions.
Oh,
Vanzi.
Humberland.
Vanzi.
Vanzi.
I think Vanzi days of international football has gone past him. So there's not much in the league. Don't be hold on. There's a young guy there. I don't remember that's really 22. Not international level quality as it. He's not really probably even the top 5. So you look at Arnett. Arnett might have two of the best CDM in the country, but they're not ready for international football.
You know, McCarthy have a good youth to do.
Yeah, McCarthy, but I think age has gone past.
Yeah.
Whenever McCarthy play for Jamaica, he doesn't play as a CDM. He always be playing right back when Tapa had him playing there. So you and I think personally, you see the makeshift thing at international football. He will make you and break you, and he break you most of the time. Because guess what? We use Hector, right? When Schaefer was here, Hector was a centre back. Tapa came and Tapa said, okay, guess what? You can fill a gap in the middle. And he got comfortable with it. But guess what? When he doesn't perform there, right? Fans gonna go and take off his head. Right? And
well, I tell you, Marlon, I just want to test I said test. Pick your footballing brains, you and Coach Minzy's brain, and the viewers and subscribers. I've heard when I first went and joined the bandwagon, I heard a lot about Michael Hector. If I give you Michael Hector, Lambert, and Ravel Morrison, of those 3 players, in your humble opinion, which of those 3, maybe all 3, maybe 2 out of 3, would potentially make your Jamaican 23-man squad? I like Anglin. I think Anglin would have a great chance working as a defensive midfield player because the vacancy is there. But Lambert, he could do a job. Hector, could he do a job? And Mr. Morrison, I think that we've got a love affair with him, a church of Ravel followers. Of those players, who would be a lock in your 23-man Reggae Boyz team? Not a passenger, but someone who can be part of a 23-man squad. Hector first, then Lambert, then Mr. Ravel Morrison.
Hector can only make my team if he's not playing centre back. He make my team as a centre back. Ravel make my team as a number 8. Right? Not gonna be the 6, because yes, he might not lose the ball, but there's certain discipline that we say, and he's lacking that discipline for it. Lambert, this season has been playing as a centre back, and I said it to him once that I see it as a future centre back if you want to prolong your future in the national team. So it's another thing again. He's captain in his team, Phoenix Horizon. He's a captain there. The coach has moved him after having him for about 3 or 4 years, seeing that probably that might be his best position, and he's been good there. But as I said, that number 6 position, Tilly Wings, none of them basically. Probably if you want the discipline, the defensive discipline, you could probably put Lambert there. If you want somebody to control the game, Ravel, but Ravel not gonna give you that the defensive part you want from the game. Hector will be there to fill a gap, but Hector for me make it as a centre back if he's available, right? I think our centre back, our defensive line the quality is growing up now, right? We still have Liam Moore out, and you probably have other players coming in the near future. So that's why I put them. But as a number 6, I probably put Lambert over them as a number 6 if I want somebody to do defensive work. Because if you remember the games we were playing, the National League personal games, he was the one that was in the middle there. He and Speedy. Even the game against Suriname when King got injured and came off, he was the one that left out the defensive midfield and went and played centre back. Ian Lowe.
Is it a natural thing for these Jamaican midfielders to preempt and know when to make a tackle or when to position themselves like a Anthony Grant, positioning yourself to intercept, read a game? oftentimes I saw the likes of a Speedy Williams who improved as a player during the time I've been watching the Reggae Boys. Sometimes they react as the play goes on. The top defensive midfield players like the Casemiros, the Rodris, they're reading the game, head on the swivel, anticipating, reading the game, knowing when to cut out, knowing when to tackle, knowing when to go close to a player to hustle them and make them move. But oftentimes it's a kind of in betwixt and in between kind of business, and that's when you snooze and you lose, or you're not as assertive as you need to be. And that's when you're allowing the likes of a Mexico, when you've got them on the ropes, to come back at you because you're not marshalling and locking down the midfield. That's why I tell you what, this Gold Cup is going to be a very challenging situation. I've not said Jamaica's going to win it. I've not said Jamaica's going to get to the final. It's going to be a challenging tournament. And this is why I'm really happy that the guys are working hard behind the scenes. And when they come out, we will see how the dice lies. Marlon, I just want clarity. Coach Minzy, I know you've mentioned this before, but let me ask you again. Mark my cards. Is this Jamaican squad potentially a Gold Cup finalist, no matter who they come across? Mark my cards from London, England. What can I expect from these Reggae Boys? Because I don't want to be overly disappointed or overly optimistic.
I am cautiously optimistic with this team. I want to see them play some football, at least two games. We're not going to see one, the Qatar game, but that's kind of sad. But I guess we're going to have to judge them as they play in the Gold Cup. And the first game in the Gold Cup possibly might not be the best game to judge them. Yeah, but I am going in very cautiously. To win a tournament, it takes a whole lot of stuff. You understand? And I'm not sure if the preparation is adequate. That's me.
Yeah, I think we have to also remember that we have 5 teams ahead of us in CONCACAF in the World Cup qualifying. 4 went to the World Cup, right? Panama, I think Panama has a functional unit. I think Panama is still ahead of us there. We might have more quality than them, but as a team, they have a better team. I'm talking, though, I want you guys to quote me what I'm saying. They might have a better team than Jamaica, but not better players, but they function better as a team. Costa Rica is rebuilding. So, but the interesting, as I said, USA have named their squad. Costa Rica has named their squad as well for the Gold Cup. The thing, I think Canada has been one of the better teams over the past 3 years. We have seen that. They're getting more quality, and they're still trying to get more quality to the team. I think defensively, they still have a lot of, not the strongest. I think we might have a better defensive unit than them. But they attack, they score goals, so that bring them over. They have a better midfield than us. So it's all about who shows up for Canada in that 23 and Mexico 23. I've watched Mexico play the last 2 games, and I've seen, I said yesterday that Hector retirement from international football, Adada, those are two pulling out of Mexico national team. You're talking about a person who used to make over 100 passing games. I want to make 60. So Alvarez and Romano and Sanchez, these guys and Rodriguez, they are trying to start that new blood of Mexican midfield dominance. Right? USA A team in the middle, we will struggle against them. But seeing this Mexico against Guatemala in these 2 games against Cameroon, there's a lot of opening there for them. But the thing about it, they are playing 2 high quality games. Whether it's going to be for the Nation League Cup or 3rd place, but they go up against each other in semi-final. Canada go up against Panama. So I think those games, especially Panama, how they perform, those 2 high quality games could probably get their feet wet going to the Gold Cup. We have 2 games, right? We are probably looking to find our best 23 to go in there. And we don't have the foundation is being laid, Richard, but we don't get there. If we get to the final, I'm looking for us to go to the semi-final. To win the tournament, I don't think we're ready for it as yet. We
I
have the quality,
agree.
we have the quality players, but it's very, very hard. We have to look at where the other teams are, what the other teams are doing, and the
Mm-hmm.
quality of the other team as well. A lot of persons say, oh, we have Anthony Gray and Bailey and this. You have to also remember what the other team has as well.
But Sean is saying he said that he keeps saying it and y'all keep ignoring it. Jamaica will go undefeated in the Gold Cup. That kind of far-fetched still. But I mean, nothing is wrong with having
But
a
coach,
positive outlook, but we still have to be objective.
yeah, what we know we have, as I said, the coach said, once he get his base and he's getting it set, as I said, we don't know how the level of injury that Damian Lowe has so far. But I think we said it already, and we said we have four for our back piece set together with Pinnock, Lowe, Blake, Bell. The right side is still up for grab, whether Latibo there, Brown, Lambasika, none of them have cemented a spot for me. Right, the right back position is open, and that right back has been giving us headache over the past 4 years. Right, nobody has. I think we can say yes, Lambasika after 45 minutes that we have seen from him. We haven't seen Joel play as yet, but at the same time, it's open. So it's as I said, it's gonna be an interesting tournament, and when the coach find that first 15 players, as I said, he's a good man manager. He can do in-game management. But that first 11, when you find it, you might be seeing that first 11 starting most of the games unless their injuries are suspension.
Has Javane Brown, in your opinion, played his way out of a potential starting slot? Do you think he's on an upward curve or a downward curve, or has he plateaued? When he made his debut, I was highly optimistic, excited at the prospect, liked how he spoke post-game, but he has underwhelmed. And I'm hoping that a Lembekisa or a Latibade steps up, unless Javane has got something in his back pocket to bring forward. You've not mentioned Mr. Brown, you've mentioned Lembekisa and Latibade. Is that because, in your opinion, the ship has sailed?
I said Javane, man, but guess what? And it's the thing as well, and that's why when I come on forums, I can talk about the players. At Vancouver Whitecaps, he plays right back, he plays right centre back, right? If you look at the players playing for his club, you say no way you're gonna leave him out of Jamaica team. But when you come to international football, if you ask someone that international football is a different level, but it doesn't matter if you're playing Cuba, you're playing St. Vincent, I guess so. Because yes, sir, when you put on your national shirt, you go there with pride. And I say to somebody, say when you're playing, that's why the US team they always come out and they come to represent because they're international. Once they put on that national shirt, at club level, Richard, it's been good. You're not gonna see him and say, guess what? If you see him playing club level, you say yes. If you look at Abbas Paul play right now at club level, you're gonna say yes, he should be a part of Jamaica team. But we have to also remember the quality that's here now, right? So sometimes your club level performance doesn't go into the international football. It takes a while for you to adjust to it. But at the same time, Javin have to look into himself now and realize, guess what? I played against Mexico. I didn't have the best game, but Lambasika came on for the 45 minutes, and that's how people gonna judge you, because you're having a hard time with Chucky Lozano, and which person have to ask him, Chucky Lozano is a world-class winger. He's not a man who just get up and he's a world-class winner. He has destroyed a lot of right back before. But when Lambasika coming on, making his basically debut, right? Right? Not the too friendly, making his official debut now for Jamaica in the Azteca against the flying winger, and went and the play have to revert and change. But the thing you have to also remember as well, Lambasika is two-footed player, right? Javane is right-sided. So Javane is trying to attack, right? Try to defend on his right side. So Chucky keep cutting in on his stronger side. And person don't understand that. And that's the different thing. Lambasika, when he cut in his, Lambasika can defend on his left foot same way. So then you have to turn back the ball or go back in the middle. But as I say, he has someone, and I think person need to realize in the national team the quality that's out there for you to compete for national spot.
Respect. Respect. How much time you have left on this particular show? Very interesting. Is there any areas that you've left
Yeah, man,
uncovered? I don't know.
we have about 11 minutes.
All right. What's the commenters saying? Big up themselves. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for your support. It's good when you're watching the rerun to check out what commenters are saying, because they are very much part of shows such as this. I'll be fascinated to find out if people really believe Jamaica can win it, or are they cautiously optimistic, such as yourself, Coach Minzy? What are you picking up?
Hold on. Dwight Spence is saying that Javian plays in the midfield of a 3-4-3 for Vancouver. You think that could be one of the main contributing factor to him?
In a back three, not the midfield, in a back three. He's the right side, he's the right centre back.
He's the right centre back.
The right side of a back three.
So you hear that Dwight is not a midfield. So he is it a case where he thrive in a back three rather than a back four?
That could be the case, from what Marlon is saying, and maybe from what Dwight's saying. That could be the case. So if he's got that support, and he's part of a back three, so there's 2 wing backs, but he's part of a back three, then he does have additional support. Back four, you got your centre backs, and then you're potentially isolated as the right back or the left back, which is why the likes of Amari Bello, the Greg Lee, who are a bit more athletic, are a bit more confident in their defensive duties, can hold their own in a back four. But as I said, Javane, to be a top professional footballer, you need to be a quick, fast, vociferous learner, voracious, should I say, voracious. You need to have the appetite and be able to, and willing to take action, listen to the instructions, take action, take instructions, and get the job done. You're out there on your own. You're carrying out the instructions, and it's you against your opponent, which is why Dexter left a distinct impression as soon as he came on. As soon as he came on, he knew that he had to shore up and do something that Javane wasn't doing. But I'm not going to throw Javane out just yet. And Coach Heimer will have a good look at the squad at his disposal. And when he's having a good look, I'm looking forward to that 23-man squad. And whoever turns out against Qatar and Jordan, big up yourself. Enjoy the experience. Enjoy the experience, and enjoy the experience again. Are we all laugh about Coach Minzy? Something sweet, you sir?
Because Cranky because Cranky said Jamaica should play right off the field for Jamaica. Hey, I want hey, the fans, they don't have no mercy, tiddlywinks. You get a chance, I want you to cut it through the door. You gotta go, or the spiky like a fly.
Cranky, I tell you, hey, litmus test you. You think he's a crank? I'm telling you, I'm trying to be a little balanced about Javane. I mean, a quick one, Coach Minzy. When it comes to athletics, track and field, the mentality and the advice and the brickbats that athletes and footballers face, do you give advice to athletes? Do they get advice and preparation training for the criticism, the boos, or what kind of run that, the setbacks as opposed to players? Is it a different thing?
I think it has to do with the psychology of the sport, and that is where a psychologist is very important part of any team, because these things are going to come. Sometimes players don't really find themselves, They might be accomplished and doing this. Having a psychologist around them is very critical to help them to even deal with the pressure of missing a goal, of not having a good game, a whole lot of stuff. I believe personally, with the way that football and sports is going right now, no team should be traveling and don't carry their psychologist. I believe one should be there.
Yeah, but of course.
An anti-crunk, Anti-Stan Kroenke
Yeah, Marlon.
support system.
I think I see team sports. Team sports is different, because guess what? You have a team sports and you have 8 person clicking and 3 not clicking out there, right? And when the fans turn on you, Richie, and you know Jamaica State, when they turn on you, there's nothing normal. Guess what? I can tell you this. I told somebody the other day, and somebody part last week, I said, if you're giving me $1 million to ref a game in Jamaica, I don't want it.
My Lord.
A referee,
That's so serious.
referee 98% of the fans against you. So guess what? You're not gonna make the right call. When the call go against I'm on the beat, say yes, they make a good call, the next fan is gonna have a hit for it. So refereeing locally sometimes you have to leave hands after them. They abuse they get at times, but it's nothing normal. Nothing normal. And
All right, gentlemen, we have come to the end of the show, but we still have about 5 more minutes. Let me check out some comment. I think Sean said it perfectly, The Javian is a man that rescued us from Alvaspol, he said. And we thank him for that. But now the cycle continues. Apparently, the fans want Lembikisa to rescue us from
Javian.
What may I tell you?
Look,
no easy,
Remember shallow still,
What you mean? Rough out there, so trust me.
Probably come September, the fans could hear that 2 other players coming. It's a different story. Right? It's so... We have a lot of...
So the cycle always going to continue because...
Look at it right now. I think where our right back pool is going right now, it's really something amazing, right? Person don't even want to hear Alva's name mentioned when it comes to Jamaica right back. We're starting here, right? Then there's a young man in Holland who could be in the mix, right? There's 2 other players in England as well. So that right back chart right now, Richie, you have to go in and put the cement on your foot and say, guess what? I'm gonna make it my own.
I agree. And again, I must say, and I don't know if you agree. I'm sure you will, but let's find out. Coach Jaime Hallgrimsson, it's almost day follows night compared to Tapa, in my opinion. Mount Pleasant champions of the JPL, congratulations to Tapa. Has he developed and grown as a coach? I certainly hope so. But tactically and with the selection, time after time, it was so off kilter in so many people's eyes, professional, fans wise. It was just so off kilter. Paul Hall tried to make a better fist of it and was doing so in certain respects. But Coach Jaime, that professionalism added to the fact that he is hopefully embracing the Jamaican diaspora gives me every reason to have cause for cautious confidence. And win, lose or draw, what I'm looking for is a cohesive performance. If that brings results, good, more power to them. But I want something more than that octagonal horrible experience. And that 2-2 draw in the Azteca, trust me, I think there's grounds for optimism, cautious optimism. So onwards and upwards, that's my call as far as Coach Jaime. But that's a big difference for me. Tapa compared to Jaime as a coach, day follows night. Marlon, am I right or am I out of order? Viewers?
But Richard, I don't think there's no one gonna compare Coach Tapa with Jaime, right? I think both of them, Tapa can say I played in the World Cup, Jaime can say I coached in the World Cup. But when it comes to the level of coaching, there's nothing there. But I can tell you, I think Tapa's improved as a coach, coaching every week, coaching a club team. Thing he have to be more media friendly now. Every game he have to do is does his interview, and I think now he's realizing what it is to be a coach right now. It's not that media person right now. As the game done, the media is on you. What was your take on the game?
Right.
Yeah, but he has improved. I see where he's improving, right? As you say yesterday, you didn't see the top of that Foley hands like this. You saw him call Dax there, rough him up. He called Marissa as well.
Yes. That was a highlight. That was one of the highlights of that final. Trust me. He was berating, calling him over. So listen, if he's improving and learning media-wise and as a tactician and encouraging the players, seeing what's out on the pitch and being willing to make a change, more power to Tapper. More power to Tapper.
Richie, I think the national team right now is still out of his league right now. So I think you need to really work on that. Another 2 seasons with more pleasant. What they do in the Caribbean League next season, make it to the Champion League and stuff. And I think you need to really get out of Jamaica and really develop his coaching resume.
All right, gentlemen. So we have come to the end of the show. Really appreciate you being here. Big up to Marlon. Big up to Rich Poe. A man walk on the chalk line tonight, people, because he afraid that yellow card, You understand? But big up yourself, Rich Poe. You know the thing going on. Big up to all the viewers and subscribers of the Coaches Desk. Thanks for tuning in. Massive respect. And as always, we try to give you potent content. You understand? Big up to Marlon. Marlon are the man right now, when it comes on to.
Before we go, coach, you have to big
analysis.
Yeah. Big up whole family.
Big up the what?
Whole family, Mr. and Mrs. Gould.
Yeah.
Taking a chance in Jamaica, especially in St. Ann, where we didn't have nothing going on in football, and to really invest millions and to reap the success last night. And I think better is yet to come in the future. So we have to thank them for that, for leaving the UK, come here, come and make St. Ann their home, and really taking the parish and everybody. And it really showed the support last night, and show thanks for being there, and really I think the players giving you guys back that trophy, and definitely.
Yeah, man, and you know the people them who went to the match, they are saying that it's been a while that they have seen Sabina that packed. Probably the last time I won cricket game, but big up to everybody. Yeah, man, big up to Coach Tapper Whitmore. Big up yourself, MG in the building. Big up Jew Fortis. Big up Fresh God. Big up Lolo. Big up Jason. Big up everybody. Big up Coach Devon. Big up Eagle Republic. Travis, big up yourself. Cataract lookalike, big up yourself. Kyle Wallace, Sean Ellis, Dwight Spence. Yo, me can't call everybody name. Stay safe, people. Until next time. Peace.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.